Where drones are the wings and eyes people need to fly high. Nothing is hidden above the sky. Be it an unusual rescue, fascinating phenomenon, or a mysterious sighting. Hang on, as here are the most unbelievable things caught by drones that no one would have seen otherwise. So in this video, we are going to show you drone cam captures what no one was supposed to see. The video is going to be amazing, so make sure you stick to the end. Cornfield cloud. In October 2016, this guy, after deciding to take some nice shots of a cornfield, went to Huntsville with his drone. The footage starts with a serene view of a huge area covered in an overgrown cornfield. But as the drone gets to the middle of the field, there was a strange figure standing there poking right back at the drone. At first, he thought it might be a scarecrow. But since scarecrows can't move on their own, it turned out to be a man dressed up in an orange t-shirt and messed up as a clown, who, after feeling threatened, started to run and hide inside the dense forest. Still, what do you guys think he was doing there? Desert Ghost. This eerie drone footage from a desert in Portugal features something strange enough to be classified as a deformed animal or an extraterrestrial being. The clip was recorded in the mid of August 2016, showing this giant humanoid creature hunchback, walking in the middle of the desolate desert and vanishing behind the bushes after getting spotted. Some say it's a sand zombie, although several people claim it's an alien. Let us know what your thoughts about it are. Alienoid creature. A hunter, while roaming through the woods, stumbled upon something mysterious among the planks of trees. Look closely just as the camera moves up from the densely packed forest of cryptid creature, with wide ears and sparkling eyes emerges from the woods. This scary footage was shot in 2022 in a remote forest, with the creature itself looking frightened. But what was that, some kind of unexplored animal species or a paranormal creature? Headless animal. This next footage is going to leave your eyes popped out. An animal, probably a moose, appeared out of nowhere walking pretty frantically without a head. Wait, is that even possible? Now check out this headless camel who continues to walk around and pose for the camera in the most unnatural way possible. While many relate it to some kind of supernatural phenomenon, it's simply because these two tend to walk with their head facing the other way around. See how this camel emerges back with a fully grown neck and a head told you. Before we move on, support us by hitting subscribe and the bell icon to get notified when we post new videos. Now let's get back to our topic. A giant baby. A giant sleeping baby in the middle of nowhere. The extraordinary drone footage captures a 3D sculptured baby sleeping in all its glory while pillowing on the land of Guangzhou Gobi Desert, China. Known as the Child of Earth or the Son of Earth, the baby bears a wish of protecting our Mother Nature, as we humans are all children of the Earth. The baby is measured up to 49.2 feet long and 29.5 feet tall, made out of red sandstones with 3D technology by artists Dong Shu, and has now become a new cultural landmark for the Silk Road. Bear chasing a man. Captured January 2022. This 19-second clip shows a drone flying between the snowy pines into a trail where it found an average-sized brown bear chasing a man. As the camera approached the chase, the bear paused while noticing the drone, and it turned back to glance at the drone before resuming its chase. Also, while the internet churns over the rumors of it being fake, it turns out the bear named Tom appears to be a fully trained teddy who is out for a jog with its trainer in the snowy wilderness. Giant humanoid figure. A Canadian man named Andrew Dawson captured footage of what appears to be an enormous figure standing on top of a mountain and walking at the peak with no support. The freaky sighting was called to the province of Alberta when a couple of men were on their routine commute and noticed something unusual protruding from the massive mountain. Although the figure appears to be shadowy, people believe it might belong to the tribe of giants native to the mountains. 6-year-old rescue. The incident took place in September 2022 when the little boy got lost in the woods with no escape to get out of there before it gets dark and even scary. But all thanks to the police officers who came up with this amazing idea to use a thermal camera on a drone to spot the boy. And after an extensive search, the drone managed to pick out an object deep in the woods. It guided the police, ambulance, and fire crews to the boy's location, who was found to be in perfectly good condition. Girl in the woods. A couple of guys, after getting a brand new drone, decided to test it somewhere safe. So they ended up being in the Canuck Chase. Little did they know what their drone is capable of capturing. After giving it a first shot over the fields, they found a girl dressed in white with hollow black eyes standing on the edge of the field. Pretty terrified to even move their drone, the guys rushed back in no time. Actually, the spooky girl is known to have been roaming around the Canuck Chase for decades. But what it actually wants and how it ended up here is something no one knows yet. Swimming camels. This next drone footage shows thousands of Korean camels migrating from the Kucha district to mangroves in India while swimming into the shallow waters for up to 3 kilometers. While the clips look mesmerizing, it turns out this rare breed of the camel is on the verge of starvation as salt companies are blocking their tidal waters and slowly drying up the mangroves. It not only takes longer for camels to reach their grazing land, but with the storage of food, the poor species is under threat. Baby deer rescue. Mate Hogs, a tech farmer from Switzerland who's making the most of a thermal drone to rescue the baby deer resting in the coziness of tall grass, will each year during the early summer, a female deer gives birth to farms who she protects from predators by nesting in the tall grasses of meadows. Unfortunately, this is the time when farmers need to mow the meadows for hay, making it impossible for them to operate a mower to recognize the tiny baby deer tucked away in the grass. Therefore, Hans came up with this ingenious method to protect the little deer after spotting them using drones. Mysterious crop circle. The next drone footage shows a mysterious crop circle in the middle of a field in northern France, triggering fear and curiosity for many. The phenomenon was captured by a farmer while driving his tractor in July 2020 when he thought someone was destroying his crops. According to many onlookers, this is how aliens mark their territories over the night. However, in actuality, this rare phenomenon of patterns is created by flattening a large area of the crop called Templar cross to add a hint of beauty along the fields. No tree forest. Recorded in 2018, this haunting drone footage shows a land filled with thousands of beheaded trees. But what causes this devastation? Let's find out. It turns out the clip is from Catalyst Lake in Washington, which in the summer of 2014 was exposed to severe drought, resulting in dry exposure of old tree trunks. The trees, however, were cut down 100 years ago for well God knows why, with their stumps being preserved because they were underwater most of the time. And since the water level dropped enough this summer, we got to see this dark reality. Hanging coffins. This mysterious drone footage from China shows a bunch of wooden coffins hanging on a cliff. While this not only looks creepy, but fascinating. According to legend, Eagle Rocks believed a person should depart the same way he entered the world. Hands back in the days, Chinese used to hang the coffins to believe that the higher the coffins were placed, the greater chance of their spirits reaching a higher nature in the afterlife, besides wanting to place their ancestors at a safer place. Today, there are some 131 coffins measuring up to 3.2 feet in length hanging on a cliff that can be traced back to 1,200 years ago. Amazon wildfire rescue. The clip shows devastating sight, trees and bushes burning into ashes with people rushing to save the animals. The fire was so lethal that it did not leave the forest in utter desolation, but perished away so much precious wildlife, trees, and birds with it. And since the cause of the fire was unknown, according to some farmers clearing land for pasture are most probably responsible for igniting the spark. Loch Ness Monster. Recorded by government officials in November 2016. The clip shows a long, ice-crusted object slowly sinking its way through the river currents of Fairbanks, Alaska's Chena River, from claiming it to be a sturgeon shark to river monster or an ice ghost. The internet is curious to find what it really is. Well, according to experts, that could probably be the debris on top of the water that appears to have snow and ice on top snagged by a submerged strader, while the current is making it move like a fish gator ice monster. Mountain Rushmore. In a strange drone clip with a pretty strange sighting as it hovers around the mountain, better known as Mount Rushmore, located at north of Custer State Park, with 4 giant faces sculptured into the mountain. The clip shows the famous presidents George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln carved into the granite rock face over many decades. But is that so? Well, according to the owner, to attract tourism, he chose 4 of these presidents to represent the most important events in the history of the United States. And did you know it took more than 14 years to get this masterpiece to gain its final shape? It's worth it, isn't it? So that's it. Please like, share, and comment your thoughts below if you like this video. Remember to subscribe to see our next video. Stay safe, and we will be back soon with another video.